Hi, this is Frances from Healing Vibrations, and I'd like to ask you a question. Were you born in any of these following years? 1999, 1990, 1981, 1972, 1963, 1954, or 1945? Or do you know somebody who was? This is a prediction of the energy that's going to be influencing you or them. And what I do is I support people who are in a state of self-inquiry and going through some kind of transition to help them understand and discover and express their greatest value and contribution out into the world as they move into the next phase of their lives. So what I do when I support new clients that come to me, I provide a blueprint reading which is based on the philosophy and the science of Chinese medicine. And the Chinese firmly believe that when they look at the patterns of nature, they have seen that the patterns of nature are also reflected in each of us, and particularly in the features of our face and also in our birth date. So this little prediction that I'm giving you today is based on the pattern of energy that's influencing you this year. And so this particular energy this year is part of a second year of a cycle of 2 years of reaping rewards. And this is a year where you're going to start to reward yourself. Last year, it would have been a year that you may have found that you were more easily recognised for your accomplishments. You would have been shown maybe a little bit more respect, and you may have had a job promotion or maybe a job raise or some kind of sense of reward of where you were at last year. Well, this year is the second year of this 2-year cycle of reaping rewards. So this is the year that you're meant to actually reward yourself. So it's about you. It's a year that's really about recognizing the beauty of your life. And the particular element of nature that this relates to is metal. And metal is associated with the theme of beauty. So this year it's about recognizing beauty and incorporating more of that sense of beauty into your life. So this year you may decide to take a wonderful holiday, a trip overseas, or if you can afford it, go on a cruise. And if you can't afford things as much this year, maybe going on a nice long weekend somewhere. But it is about you rewarding yourself for whatever accomplishments or whatever you have achieved in your life so far. And it's time to give yourself those gifts. And it could be that you find if you're a woman and you see a particular item of jewelry that you really love, it's about you actually appreciating that it's time for you to reward yourself with that. It is a year to actually wear more of the real jewelry. And you don't have to spend a lot of money this year. You can actually, bring the sense of beauty into your house by putting a beautiful vase of flowers on the table, or decorating with certain ornaments that represent that particular element of metal. So beautiful metallic ornaments placed here and there would be just fabulous as well. It's also about appreciating beauty, and you can go outside, for instance, and just noticing the beautiful sunlight on the trees, or smelling the scent of flowers, or just feeling the touch of the cream on your skin. It's really about enjoying that sense of beauty. And it's what the Chinese would call this year is a year of joy. This is a year where you're meant to incorporate more of a sense of joy in your life. And it's not about depriving yourself. This is not a year to deprive yourself, because if you were to deprive yourself this year, and for instance you've booked a holiday away and then you've looked at your bank account and realised, it doesn't look too good, what can happen is you deprive yourself of that holiday and decide to minimise your expenses and decide to cut down on the food bill and just eat minimalistically this year. And that would be totally going against the energy of this year. Because as I said, it's about rewarding yourself in simple ways, but also wherever you can give yourself a sense of pleasure is really important. Because if you don't, the energy will continue to play out in years to come, and we don't want to do that. We want to work with the energy that is really beneficial to you this year. And as I said, it's about beauty, and it's also about rewarding yourself. In regard to love this year, if you're not in a relationship and you're looking for love, this could be a year where Prince Charming or Princess Charming comes along, and you may not necessarily have to go out looking for them. They just may naturally just show up in your life. So that's fabulous. In Chinese medicine, the actual archetype that relates to this particular pattern of nature is called the princess. So you're meant to live like a princess this year. And it could be that in the opposite to the princess is Cinderella, and you can end up going into Cinderella mode and decide to deprive yourself. And I seriously want you to pull back and notice that when you're doing that, and ask yourself, am I in Cinderella mode? Because I need to swap over to the princess mode all year this year. Particularly the energy started from the 4th of February, where the Chinese New Year started. But you may have already felt the influence of this energy around November, December last year. So look at having some kind of trip away if you can. But also realise that this year, what can happen for you is that you tend to tighten up, and you may hold too tightly onto money, and try to be a bit too more thrifty, or you may be even anxious about your finances, and you may think it's the right choice to deprive yourself and not give yourself the pleasures that you're really meant to give yourself this year. So it's important this year to remember to stay in balance and do things that are really going to give you a sense of pleasure and fun, and to lighten up this year. It's all about lightening up. What can also come up in the negative way this year is a sense of regret. This year it's about refining and looking at your life and looking at things that are of value to you. And you may tend to look back with regret at the past and wish, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Know that this year you can reflect moving forward too, and saying, how can I go about my future now by incorporating more of a sense of pleasure and joy this year. Very powerful for that. What can also, I'm going to give you a bit of a story about how incorporating pleasure and beauty in your life is so important this year. When I was in this particular year, in this year of beauty, that was 2 years ago in 2017, and that year I actually went across to India on a 12-day holiday with a group of women, and I got to appreciate the beauty of India, which there is a lot of beauty to appreciate there. But I also, hello Michelle, thank you for watching, but I also bought myself I bought this pendant, for instance. You know, we went shopping on the bus tour and we'd stop at different bus routes, and I would go out and admire the beautiful pendants and jewellery that they'd have at those stops. And I bought myself a few, you know, not expensive items of jewellery, and interestingly enough, in metal. But I also bought this beautiful ruby, Star of Ruby ring, which is a beautiful reminder of my holiday away there in India. So this is what I mean about this year for you. This is what you need to do for yourself, to allow yourself to appreciate and enjoy the beauty of life, however that comes up for you, whether it's a holiday or buying yourself a beautiful item of jewellery. And I know that year too, I flew across to San Francisco and studied this work that I'm sharing with you in great depth over a 6-day period. And again, it may have been an expense that I probably thought at the time I couldn't afford. And now I appreciate that I did that back then, because now the information and the knowledge that I've learned, I'm bringing out into the world, and particularly today and over the last 6 days with the predictions of the energy that is influencing everyone. So the summary for this year is about looking at the big picture of your life, maybe even looking at what you can let go of that is of no longer of value to you. Clutter clearing is also powerful this year, doing the space clearing in your house. You don't have to hire someone, you could just have a party, play some loud music, and even sing and dance. That will help clear the energy in your house. And know that this is a time to reflect on your life and to know that the experiences that you've had are all there for you to learn from and to learn a greater, deeper wisdom from as well. And learn to look at how you can reflect forward and say, where do I want to be in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years of your life? And look at that from a really positive way if you can. And the colours that are associated with this particular metal element energy this year are any of the metallic colours, monochromatic colours, grey and white. So I'm wearing white and I'm wearing a grey-white item of clothing, and the metallics of silver, copper, bronze, all those particular colours. And if you might like to wear some of those colours this year just to amp up that beautiful energy, and if you don't particularly like wearing those colours, maybe you'd like to buy a beautiful silver, gold or bronze ornament that you can place on your dressing table or on a table in your house. You might buy some images that have those, particularly this year, can have an image of a still lake. That would be really powerful. So I want you to really enjoy this particular year. It's not to say that challenges won't come up, but this year you'll be able to navigate them a little bit more easily than maybe in prior years. So a fabulous year. I want you to really enjoy it. And thank you for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with the particular prediction for the 8th year of the 9-year cycle. So there's 2 more predictions to come, and I look forward to seeing you again then. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.